Hey guys, Local here with Nisqy, fresh off his win versus Echo Fox. How easy was that?
Um, my team kind of carried me today, so I didn't have to do much. Quite easy game, I think. So yeah.
Do you find games in NA much easier?
It's definitely more challenging in EU, I'd say, because people play more aggressive in lane at least. I mean, mid lane at least, and there's more action, I'd say, in the early game compared to NA. So yeah, NA games feel more kinda slower and like late game focused kind of games. So yeah, I'd say NA games are slower and kinda easier to win.
Damn, you're being awfully polite.
Yeah, I'm polite, you know.
So the big criticism that NA gets is our games are slow and we tend to NA ARAM or NA RAM. We just go mid and we don't actually play the side lanes. As someone that's played in both Europe and NA, is there truth in that?
Um, I think there's some truth in that. I think also one thing that is different between NA and EU is that EU actually play comps where champions are really good on side, like Rice for example. That in NA we just play like Syndra and like all those Zoe stuff. I mean in EU they also play that, but usually they play LeBlanc and then she just stays on side. But like in NA, if usually you just pick team fight comps and that's why you can't have to air them, in my opinion.
Why do you think that is, where EU is more willing to play out the side lanes and play out the map wider, and NA is very condensed in mid lane and all about team fighting later on?
I'm not so sure about that. I think team fight comps are probably easier to execute, in my opinion, and EU is trying to play the perfect game, or like some teams are at least. And also, it's usually when you play 1-3-1, the champions that you're playing, like LeBlanc, Ryze, are usually hard to play and not easy to execute. So I'd say just playing team fight comps are just easier, and yeah, that's it.
So overall, how has it been adjusting to NA? I remember your first game missing Joey Q's on sleep target, all those Nisqy memes, but you kind of settled in pretty nicely. How has it been?
Apart from that first game, I think I've done a good job kind of adapting to the team. It wasn't easy in the beginning because my way of playing the game was not at all the same as C9 does or like did, you know. And yeah, I'm trying to adapt more and more, and it's been going not that bad right now. So yeah, we'll just keep improving our synergy, definitely with Svenskeren too. And yeah, I've been getting along really well, and it's going great. So
So there's some Europeans like Febivin who come over, only stay for a year or so, and then there's Europeans like Jensen, Bjergsen, who've been here for such a long time now, both of them over like 3 years. So where do you see yourself in the future? Do you want a long-term home in NA and in C9? Or, I mean, I don't want you to say I'm going to leave C9 next year, but is it something you're considering, like being having NA be your, I guess, long-term home?
if everything goes as I like it, and right now, for example, everything is great. If it's going for like 4 or 5 years, I definitely stay in NA and definitely in C9 because everything's just perfect for now. But it will also depend on like my mood and how I'll feel after some years. Because, for example, at the end of Envy, I wanted to come back to NA at that point too, but I couldn't. Then I had to go to EU. So I think if it's up to me, I would definitely stay in NA at least. If I'm still in C9, and yeah, I really enjoy NA and I really love C9 as an org. So if I can stay in C9 forever, I probably will do. Yeah.
So what's so good about NA? There's all these European comments about you come to NA, the skill vampires get your skills away, you're only here for money. Like, what is so great about NA that we constantly have European players coming over and players like you want to stay?
Um, for me, it's just the mood and just the atmosphere of the team right now. I really enjoy it. I'm not stressed at all. For example, everything's been great. You know, like there's no issue at all. Fans are great, and then I think there is just less pressure on the players to. I won't say perform, but just you kind of play whatever you want, right? But in EU, it's more like you gotta perform at a high level, or there's a lot of, for example, EU mids, as we say, like there's a lot of rookies, for example, this year in LOC. And I think in NA, it's more like even if you don't perform at your best, you will still have a chance in the next 2 weeks, for example. But that's a bit different with C9, I say, because I have Golden Glue also in the academy team. So yeah, I just I don't know. NA is just really chill for me at least, and I mean right now I'm improving with Reaper, so I want to stay here as long as I can.
So I'd imagine a goal for you in the future is be better than Jensen, the player you replaced or the player you took the spot of. Is that something you're working towards? And do you compare yourself to other mid laners a lot?
I mean, I wouldn't say I want to be better than Jensen because I don't think that's really a goal that I will put on myself. I think it's rather be a top mid laner in NA, like at least being top 2 or top 3 minimum at the end of the year is like one big thing for me, and I think I'm capable of. And yeah, just be a good teammate and just keep being myself, like not changing or like keep playing good champions and trying to improve on every aspect of the game. So yeah, I'd say being a top mid laner in NA at the end of the year.
So you talk about C9 and Reaper a lot and how the environment has been really great. Reaper's been a great coach. What's so special about C9? What's so special about Reaper? What do they do that's different and that's been helping you a lot?
I mean, like for example, in the beginning when I came and they were giving me feedback, they were giving it in a funny way, kinda. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, kinda like that, like the brain check or just, oh, why did you do this? Like I remember I was playing Aatrox in the beginning, and then I was never using ult because I didn't even. I mean, I knew he did some damage. I knew, and he was like, Nisqy, why don't you use ult? Like he's kind of making me realize like my mistakes and then working on them, and then he kind of. There's also one thing in sense like if you want to play a champion stage, you gotta be really good in scrims to it, right? And like that's why in the first weeks I was only playing Zoe, because it was the only champion that I was good on. But I mean, it's just taking criticism from my teammates, and the way C9 kind of sees criticism is really how do I say? It's really easy to take, in my opinion, and also to give, because no one gets like hurt or no one has like a big ego, that he doesn't want to get coached or something like that. And I think that's something that's really huge in my opinion, because I've had some issues before, like in all my previous teams where I couldn't really say what I thought or like what I wanted to say to a teammate. But in C9, I feel like I can just say whatever I want, and no one will get like hurt by it, So yeah.
So what's the relationship like with Golden Glue? He got some stage time last year, and when Jensen got traded to TL, I would expect he wanted to take that spot, and now you guys are in a sense competing. So I'm always very curious what the sub and the main starter relationship is like.
I mean, we're actually really good friends from the start. Like when we met in Korea, I kind of knew that he was like a good guy, and we kind of matched really well immediately. We were talking about matchups or anything that we wanted, league or even outside league, and we're just joking around and stuff. We don't really talk about like, oh, look, I'm the starter, or oh, next week you're gonna play academy or something like that. It's just if he's better than me in his scrims, and then if he gets his chance to prove it, and he's better than me, then I will just be like, okay, you can play in LCS, and if you're better than me, then I believe he can play. But usually it's just we kind of try to improve each other, in my opinion. And I don't think there's like any rivalry, or like even though there is, it's good rivalry at least, because it makes us kind of try hard, in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, I really like Golden Glue. He's a really cool guy, and he helps me improve as well. So yeah.
So there is like a final boss in all the regions, right? Griffin, G2, now Team Liquid. What can C9 do later down the line? Like, how is C9 going to beat TL, if anything? Because a lot of people say C9 is the only hope that NA has of someone dethroning Team Liquid.
I'm pretty sure if you play TL in the next weeks, and for example, even the first game, if I didn't miss that queue, the game would be really different, in my opinion. I won't say that we're better than TL because we lost to them, but I'm pretty sure if we just play our game and if we're on point mechanical wise, I'm pretty sure we'll beat TL. But I mean, we'll see. I think they're a strong team, but I don't think they're like unbeatable. And I do believe we're on the right path to beating them. And anyways, I mean, beating TL is not really our goal. It's like winning the NALCS is our goal, so we gotta beat every team anyways. So yeah, I mean, beating TL shouldn't be that hard, I think, for us in the long run. And yeah.
Thank you so much for the interview, Nisqy. Do you have any final words to the fans?
Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting us. and keep supporting C9 and hashtag Team Nisqy.
Hashtag Team Nisqy. And if you like the content, don't forget to subscribe. I guess hashtag Team Loco. Thank you so much to Low-Key Community for making this interview happen. If you guys want to support them, the link is going to be down in the bio.